Jay from Monarch, and I am pleased to be with you here to talk about how to set up your applicant profile for your FY 2017 COC project applications. Let's get started. This is just going to focus on getting the applicant profile section done in eSnaps. As you can see, I'm at the eSnaps beginner window where you can log in, use your username and password, and you can get into the system. Of course, it's the busy season, so jumping through this system may take a little bit of time because there's so many people using it. When you first log into eSnaps, HUD is going to ask you a question about complying with the rules. Make sure that you accept, and then once you are in eSnaps, this is what you will see. In the left-hand gray bar, you can see that it says Applicants, Funding Opportunity, Registrations, Projects, and Submissions over here. If we're trying to set up our applicant profile, which is the first step when you're doing your project applications, it's the essential first step to make sure all your agency information is up to date before you're completing your project applications, because a lot of the applicant profile information pulls into your project applications. Make sure you click on the word applicants, and that's where we're going to find our applicant profile for my agency. Of course, my agency is Monarch Housing, and so I'm going to show you the Monarch Housing applicant profile. If you're a first-time applicant, you will need to be creating your applicant profile, and so you can see this little piece of paper with the orange plus sign. You can click there and fill out all the necessary information for your agency. However, if you're a renewal application, you will have an applicant name down here in the list here, and you can click on the orange folder with the gray piece of paper coming out so that you can view your applicant profile and make any updates necessary. Okay, so first thing we do when we get into applicant profile is we are going to make sure that if we need to make changes, that we can make changes. Okay, so what we do is instead of intuitively going to the beginning of the form, and number one, you can make sure that if you want the instructions, you can see the instructions for this in eSnaps, they provide them, but go to your submission summary page first as a good step, because what you'll be able to do is see which of these pages in your submission summary are completed already. If you need to make an update, let's say your contact information of your organization changed, you have a new boss and your authorized representative changed, etc. You need to complete your new 2880, which everyone will need to make sure is up to date this year because it's changed. If you want to make any of these changes, don't go to these pages first, okay? Because as you can see, this form has been marked complete. So you'll have to make sure that your first step is to come to submission summary number 6 in your applicant profile. And if you want to make any edits, you have to then click edit. And that's going to, now you see it changed to the word complete. Now I can go back in and I can make any updates that I need to in my applicant profile. Now, I am an applicant for a project. I'm not the collaborative applicant or the COC lead. I am just applying for a single project, so I can click Save and Next. Make sure when you're in eSnaps, if you want to have anything actually preserved when you're filling it out, you must make sure that you do Save, Save and Back, or Save and Next. Otherwise, you're going to be missing out on information. Okay, little asterisks here indicate the required fields that you have. Organization type, if you're a nonprofit, make sure you fill that out. Tax ID, etc. This is all the essential information about your organization. Once that's done, you can click Save and Next. Authorized representative is the person in your agency who is authorized to make big decisions, such as applying for federal funding, like we're doing in a COC application. Once you've filled out the information for that person, you can click Save and Next, but please note that that is the person whose digital signature is going to be allowed to act on behalf of your agency. Alternative contact information is the secondary contact person other than the authorized representative. You can click Save and Next once that's done. And then this is the congressional district that your agency is operating within. So please make sure to check all that apply. And then you have to answer whether it's a faith-based organization, if you've received any federal grants, and if your applicant's code of conduct is already on file with HUD. This is a very important one this year because HUD did a purge of all the codes of conduct that are on file there. So if you are uncertain actually really, even if you are thinking you're certain, you should make sure that you go and update your code of conduct with HUD. And let me show you how. Okay, so first of all, if you wanted to, you could go to HUD Exchange and you could, or HUD.gov, and search for code of conduct for HUD grant programs. Then you could go to the state of New Jersey and search for your agency on the list and see if yours is on record. What I recommend you do regardless is you can follow these instructions, because it says if your organization is not listed, you can forward an electronic copy of your code of conduct statement to askgmo@hud.gov. And it should contain the following information right here: your DUNS, your legal business name from Sam, your mailing address, name, title, and email and phone of the executive with authority, and electronic codes of conduct statement. All right, very important thing to make sure is up to date this year. Okay, but once you've done all those things, in the additional information section, you can click Save and Next. This is the 2880 form, okay? This used to be a form that you just filled out and signed off on project by project and had to upload into eSnaps as an attachment. No longer, now it is built into eSnaps. Okay, so the threshold determinations, it's asking this, in terms of the information that gets pulled in, it should already be populated with your information of your authorized representative. Under threshold determinations, this funding is asking you whether you as an agency are expected to receive more than $200,000 during the next fiscal year from the COC, okay? If the answer is yes, then you're going to have additional information. If it's no, if your grant or the sum total of multiple of your COC grants is less than $200,000 during the next fiscal year that you're applying for, select no. And then that's pretty much going to be the end of what you have to do on this form, okay, other than certifying that it's accurate. If the answer is yes, okay, then make sure that you name any other grant, loan, subsidy, guarantee, insurance, payment, credit, or tax benefit that you expect to receive from the COC this year, in terms of anything other than what you're receiving just through grant funds. If you don't have to list all of your COC projects here. This would only be if you as an agency are receiving other government assistance. And then this is the most important section where really most people are going to have information. If there's nothing else to list here, you can put not applicable or none. Yeah, it says NA, so write NA. And then interested parties. As you can see, this is asking, and this is only going to show up if you've selected you receive more than $200,000 in COC funds in a year. You must disclose developers, contractors, or consultants involved in the application for the assistance or in the planning, development, or implementation of the project, and any other person who has a financial interest in the project or activity for which the assistance is sought that exceeds $50,000 or 10% of the assistance. Okay, so make sure that you're, aside from your own agency, okay, you're listing any partners or any tangential agency or individual that may have an interest in you receiving these COC funds. For instance, if you have a subrecipient who receives funds as a subcontractor with you on this COC program, make sure that you list them. Okay, and you need to have their agency name, their tax ID or employee ID number, and their social security number if it's an individual, the type of participation that they'll have in the project, the amount of their financial interest, and the percentage of the overall award that you'll be receiving that they have an interest in. So this divided by your total COC amount is your percentage, okay? Now, once you've done this section, or if you've not had to do it because you don't receive more than $200,000, make sure that you click I agree on behalf of your authorized signatory, and then you can click Save and Next for that section. Okay, Code of Conduct. Make sure that you upload your Code of Conduct just in case, even if you've updated your Code of Conduct with HUD, you don't have to, but it's better safe than sorry. And so that's what we counsel folks with. You can click Next then, after you've uploaded that. Nonprofit documentation. Let me just show you the mechanics of how to upload something. You can click on the words applicant code of conduct, and then it'll bring you to a screen that allows you to describe the attachment and choose a file. Then a window will pop up so you can choose the file from your computer to upload. All right, and then once you've uploaded it, you can click save and back to list. All right, in this case, I don't have anything, so I'm not going to do that. Next is your nonprofit documentation. If you're a nonprofit agency and not a division of government, make sure that you do the same thing. Click on nonprofit document, and it'll take you to the screen where you can upload your 501c3 documentation. Make sure that you take care of that. Otherwise, you might not be considered an eligible applicant by HUD. Okay, once you've uploaded it and you can see it here, you know, if there's a red X, it means there is something uploaded already. So that's how you'll know. Okay, if you're a nonprofit, you also have to do what's called the SF424 supplemental. You can search and Google SF424 supplement document on, or look for it on HUD Exchange website. Pretty easy to find, but this is what it looks like. And let me see if I can blow this up for you so you get a better vision of it. Okay. All right, so you need to fill this out on behalf of your agency, and it'll be your organization name, your DUNS number, the grant name, and the CFDA number. Okay, the CFDA number is something that we already saw back here. It's pre-populated for you in terms of the organization information, I believe, or maybe it's just in the project application. But that number is 14.267. Okay, and then the grant name should be Continuum of Care. Okay, the reason being is you might think, well, that's not my grant name. Well, the fact of the matter is that your applicant profile is about all of the projects that you're receiving. So you as an agency need to make sure that you're covering all of your projects. Then you can answer these simple questions about your agency in terms of 501c3, number of employees, the size, affiliation with religious institutions, and history of receiving grants, etc. Okay, once you've completed this SF424 supplemental, save it and make sure that you upload it into your applicant profile right here. Okay, this is basically just certifying that you ensure equal opportunities for folks in your organization. Okay, once you've done that, you can click next. Other attachments only if it's necessary. And then if not, you can click next. Now, just because I got to the submission summary form and everything is checked off doesn't mean my form is submitted for applicant profile. Again, in order to finish this applicant profile, I need to click complete. The word used to say edit here, but in order to make changes, I clicked on that word edit and it became complete. Now, if I want to submit my applicant profile, I click complete. And it should take, and then the word should change to edit in this button here again. And we'll be ready to go with a complete applicant profile that's been updated for 2017. Okay, now you can see that I'm back at the applicants page. So now I can go and complete my applications, and knowing that I have a complete applicant profile, let's just make sure that everything took correctly. You know, make sure that I have a complete applicant profile since it bounced me back to the opening screen here. Just want to confirm these things because eSnaps can be finicky. All right, this form has been marked as complete, so I'm good to go. I'm going to go back to my applicants list, and I'm going to get back into my project applications so I can complete my application for COC funding. So that, folks, is a little tutorial on how to do your applicant profile and make those updates necessary. It's really important to get this right because the information from your applicant profile pulls in to all of your applications at the beginning of the form. So please make sure that you do this as a first step and refer to the guidance first, refer to this webinar second, and if you have any issues, you can contact your local helpful Monarch personnel. But good luck, and thank you very much.